Hello everyone, Mr. Hissner here. Today we are going to be looking at area of compound figures. Now, compound or composite. These figures are two figures that are put together. They can be divided into different regions, and we can find the area of those regions separately and then add their sum to find the area of the whole thing. So, first thing, let's look at this figure right here. So this figure, we can see it's two different shapes. We have this shape here in orange, and then we have this shape here in a green. So our shape is a rectangle, and the area of a rectangle is length times width. And then our second is a trapezoid, and this is 1/2. Trapezoids are 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. Okay, so you will notice that we're given the whole thing here is 18. And so let's just start off with the rectangle. It looks like the length I'm going to do is 23. It's this piece here. And then the width looks like 12. So this is just going to be 23 times 12. But we need to find the height of this rectangle, or this trapezoid rather. And you'll notice that I put a little dashed line and a right angle because the height of a trapezoid is always perpendicular to its bases. So it needs to be perpendicular to the bases. It needs to be straight up and down. It needs to make a perfect right angle for it to be an accurate height. And you can see here that we have this whole piece. This whole side is 12, right, of the rectangle. But then the compound figure is 18. So if we subtract 12 from 18, we'll get this little green dotted line. We'll get what's left over, right? We'll get what's left over. And so when we do that, 18 minus 12, we get 6. And so we know this height here will be 6. And we can just kind of start filling this in. 1/2 of 6 times the base 1. Well, if this is a rectangle, it's 23 on both sides. So this is going to be 23 plus 15 is my other base. Sorry, this is a parenthesis. And now this is just calculator work. 23 times 12 is 276. And then I'm going to do 1/2 of 6 is 3. So this is going to be 3 times 23 plus 15. I'm going to put this into the calculator. 3 times 23 plus 15. 3 times 23 plus 15. 114. So I just went ahead and threw that right into the calculator. And then we need to add these two together. 1. Carry the 1. No. 115? No, it's 114. My bad. 390. And these are 390, and this is centimeters squared. So what we did, we find the area of the one, we add it to the other, and then we call it a day. We just add them together, and that's our total answer. So let's look at this next problem here. We have two figures. So we have this figure in the middle, and then we have these two kind of on the sides here, right? We have these two semicircles. However, if you could imagine these two circles being kind of pushed together, if you can imagine these two circles being pushed together, then it would just make a whole circle, right? It would just make a whole circle. So we have the two areas we have. We have the area of the circle, and we have the area of what looks like a parallelogram. Now, this is not a triangle down here and then like some trapezoid. It's not find the area of the trapezoid, then find the area of the triangle. If we look back at our notes, you will notice that the heights are perpendicular to the bases, right? So the height here is perpendicular to the base of the triangle, so it makes a right angle. Here in a trapezoid, or parallelogram rather, here are the two bases, and again, the height is parallel or perpendicular to the base. The height is so this isn't like a triangle and a trapezoid. That's not how we do this. This is a parallelogram. But this dotted line with the insignia for a right angle means it's perpendicular, and the height is perpendicular to the bases. And again, for the trapezoid here, we see the same thing again. The height is perpendicular to the bases. So remember that as we go through these, please. So here we go. Now we have the area of a circle. This is pi r squared. And this is just base times the height. And you'll notice the 6 inches is just kind of here. And this is the radius. So this is going to be pi 6 squared. So we can do that in the calculator. But notice that if that's the radius of the circle, well, then the whole thing, the diameter, would have to be 12, right? So then that means that this whole piece has to be 12, and then that is our base of the trapezoid. So we have base of the trapezoid times the height, which is 5, and this is 60, and pi times 36, so this is going to be 113.1. Let's just make sure. So pi times 6 squared, I'm just going to do 6 times 6 because that's 6 squared. 6 times 6 is 6 squared. Yeah, 113.09. So I'm just looking at these. This 9 rounds up to a 10, right, to a 1, and then it'll just drop off to a 0. And then we have 113.10 or 113.1. Yep, and then we want to add these two numbers together right here. So this is going to be 0.1371. And these are inches squared, and we're done. All right, guys, so that is composite area. Just remember that, whenever you see these dotted lines and then some right angles, that this is the insignia. This is letting you know, some notification here, that this is the height of the figure. All right, guys, thanks for watching.